All right, let's just get right into it. This is the big one, right? The question that's been looping in the back of everyone's mind in the tech world. It's causing a ton of excitement, but also, let's be honest, a whole lot of anxiety. Will AI make software engineers obsolete?
And look, this isn't just some abstract sci-fi thought experiment we're talking about. For so many developers, this is a very real, what does this mean for my future kind of concern. It could totally change their careers. So it really deserves a proper look. Okay, so what if I told you that the person who said that they use AI for pretty much all of their code, isn't worried one bit? I know, it sounds like a massive contradiction, but the reality is way more nuanced and honestly, a whole lot more interesting. To really wrap our heads around this, we've got to shift our perspective. Instead of seeing AI as this thing that's coming to replace us, let's think of it more like a new kind of partner, a collaborator. Because here's the thing. Right now, people are using these AI tools in two completely different ways. And understanding this split is the absolute key to figuring out where all this is actually going.
So in one corner, you've got what people are calling vibe coding. You can think of this as just letting the AI do its thing. You don't even look at the code. The whole point is just speed, getting a side project off the ground like yesterday. But then in the other corner, you have professional software engineering. Here, yeah, the AI is still writing code, but the human, you, is totally in the loop, reviewing it, understanding it, and guiding it every step of the way. And this is the part that so many people miss. Neither of these methods is like using a vending machine where you just push a button and get a perfect result. No way. It's a conversation. It's a constant back and forth. You can actually picture it as this simple loop that just keeps repeating. 1, you give the AI a prompt. 2, it spits out some code. 3, and this is the most important step by a mile, you, the human, check the work. Is it right? Is it what you wanted? And 4, you give it feedback, adjust your request, and go again. It's a dialogue, not a dictation.
Okay, so if AI is this great new collaborator, why not just, hand over the keys and let it do everything? Well, that's where we run headfirst into some very real, very practical limits. Remember that vibe coding idea we just talked about? The one where you just trust the AI and don't look under the hood? It's awesome for simple stuff, but the second you try to apply that to a complex, real-world application, the kind of thing companies are actually built on, the whole approach just completely falls apart. And here's why it breaks down. Real apps are messy. They rely on a bunch of other services. You might need to have your test account in one very specific state to even see the feature you're working on. And when you're on a team with 5 other engineers all making changes, trying to figure out what's going on without looking at the code becomes an absolute nightmare.
And this reveals a truth that might sound a little bit backwards. When the going gets tough, sometimes the fastest, clearest, and just plain most efficient way forward is to put the AI aside for a second and work directly with the code itself.
This all points to a huge misconception that a lot of people have about software. They see code as this annoying hurdle, this thing you just have to get through to get to the product. They think the ultimate goal is to get rid of code altogether.
But the truth is the complete opposite. The code isn't the obstacle. The code is the value. It is the perfect, precise, unambiguous blueprint of how your software actually works. It tells you more than any AI summary ever could. It's the ground truth. Okay, I know what you might be thinking now. Even if AI doesn't completely replace engineers, it's making them way more efficient. So if one person can do the work of 2, aren't companies just going to hire half as many people?
And hey, that's a totally fair question. We've seen it happen with other technologies throughout history. Automation comes in, and some jobs disappear. So why would software be any different? Well, when a tech company gets a tool that boosts efficiency, it faces a choice. Path A is to keep making the same amount of stuff, but with a smaller team to save money. Or they can take path B, keep the team the same size, and use that newfound efficiency to build more, ship faster, and create new things. And here's the thing about the tech industry. It is fundamentally built on and rewarded for one thing: growth. Investors, the stock market, they don't reward companies for just staying the same. They reward them for getting bigger. That creates this huge incentive to always choose path B, to use efficiency to grow, not just to shrink.
Now you might be thinking, but wait, I see tech layoff headlines all the time. And you're right, but here's what the headlines miss. Yeah, big companies like Meta and Google had huge, splashy layoffs, but they've also been quietly rehiring thousands and thousands of people. The news always covers the initial shock, not the slow, steady rebuilding that comes after. So, let's tie all of this together. What does the future actually look like? What's the winning combination of skills that's not just going to survive this shift, but actually thrive in it?
You've probably heard this quote before. And it's a great starting point. It correctly frames this as a competition between humans, not humans versus machines. But for software engineers, we can get even more specific.
Because this is what's happening on the ground, right now. The best, most valuable engineers, the ones who really know their stuff, who have those deep foundational software skills, they aren't afraid of AI. They're diving in head first and making it part of their toolkit.
So just imagine the two people you'll be competing with in the future. On one side, you've got someone who only knows how to write prompts for an AI, and on the other, you have a skilled engineer who has a deep understanding of code and knows how to use AI as a force multiplier. Who are you betting on?
Yeah, it's not even a fair fight. The person who is going to be incredibly valuable, the person who wins, is the one who can do both. They can use AI for speed, but they also have the core coding knowledge to dive deep, manage complexity, and truly own the valuable blueprint they're building.
So at the end of the day, the question isn't, will AI replace me? The real question is a much more personal one. How are you going to combine these two incredible skills, the craft of coding and the power of AI, to build your future and create what comes next?